Joining me now is Deputy Nationals Leader Kevin Hogan. Kevin, great to have you on tonight. Thank you so much. Look, we've been talking a lot about the threat of radical Islam. This morning, the Prime Minister finally acknowledged that it is indeed at the heart of this issue. But I want to talk to you about immigration, because this is not being against immigration in this country, because that's not the point of this. And don't forget the hero. The hero of all this came from Syria. He is a Muslim man himself. But it's about better checks and balances. So how do we get to that point?
Well, very important, Danica, and as you said, the hero of this also is a Muslim man, but we have a radical Islamist element into our community, and I think we saw it not long after October the 7th, where we saw those people celebrating that massacre outside the Opera House. So, these people are here and these people exist. Gillian Segal, as you mentioned earlier, they made a recommendation that the immigration in this country has to change and have higher bars in weeding out people with anti-Semitic views. I mean, there are people in this country who are celebrating what happened, and we have to know who they are, and they either have to leave if they're dual citizens or not come here. I mean, this is, the Jewish community in our country do not feel safe, and we know that, and for good reason, and it's not okay. No,
it's not okay. The Prime Minister is talking about gun control. That's the angle that he's taking here. Now, obviously, being a national, you would know that regional Australia, guns are a big issue. There are a lot more out in the regions, but is this really the heart of the problem?
Look, it's not me saying it. The Jewish community are saying the Prime Minister has had weak leadership on this issue for the last over 2 years. They're saying that to us. They're saying that's how they feel. Look, this issue is about anti-Semitism and radical Islamists in this country. They had bombs here. Gun control wouldn't stop the bombs that they brought down here to let off. We've had a synagogue being burnt down here in this country. We've had a lot of other things that have happened. So this is about radical Islam, and we have to deal with this and deal with it thoroughly. Gun control isn't going to do that.
So what do we do? What do we do? Because I've been speaking to so many Jews here the last 2 days. Where do we go to from here, and how do we tackle that problem?
Well, look, one is ASIO obviously need more support as well. I mean, they've obviously identified some of these people. I think there needs to be things happen. They identified one of these terrorists, as we know. So there has to be more that they can do and should do as part of this as well. But we need tougher immigration laws in making sure that we've got 3,000 people coming from Gaza, Danica, as you know. We've had ISIS supporters coming back into this country in the last few weeks. The controls over that need to be much better, because if some of those 3,000 people coming from Gaza support and celebrate what's happened here, that isn't okay. And we all, I think, have some fears about that.
Well, and it's not just that. I mean, don't forget, Tony Burke did a private meet and greet with some of them at Sydney Airport. And you've probably seen the vision when he did come to the memorial late last night. He was heckled. They said, you've got blood on your hands. So he wasn't welcome here because of the policies that he and Anthony Albanese have put in place from the beginning. As you said, these 3,000 Gazans that have come here. You've taken some time to see the memorial. We talk about the worst of times, but in the light, there's also the very best. Has it brought Australia closer together? I mean, it's sad that it's taken this, but what do you think?
Well, I hope so, Danica. It's very moving being here. It's very emotional being here. I mean, just earlier, everyone broke into a spontaneous national anthem, Australian national anthem.
And Waltzing Matilda too, they've been singing today
There's a lot of hugging going on, and there's a lot of goodwill here and a lot of love here, but there's a lot of healing to do here, and it's going to be a journey for us as a country, but again, as leadership, we need stronger anti-Semitism laws here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yet the report by Gillian Segal sat on the Prime Minister's desk now for 6 months. It's catching dust. Good to have you on, Kevin Hogan. Thank you so much for joining me. Really, really appreciate it.
Thanks.